The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power Season 2 is coming. The elves use the power of the Dark Realm to make the sacred tree shine again, thus resolving the current crisis. Finding Sauron has now become the top priority. According to the scouts, Sauron was last seen near Mordor. The Elven King believes this is a good opportunity to deal with both Sauron and Adar at once. However, since wearing the Elven Ring, Rael seems to have established a connection with Sauron in some mysterious way. He feels that Sauron is not in Mordor, but is trying to get close to Celebrimbor to forge the remaining rings for him. Therefore, the Elven King ordered Elrond to go with him to the Forge City to find Sauron's whereabouts. Sauron had already arrived at the Forge City. Although the Elven King had arranged for spies to reveal his true identity, these spies were intercepted and killed by Sauron on the way. It wasn't until dusk that Celebrimbor came out to meet Sauron. After all, he had deliberately concealed his identity to get close to him. Celebrimbor immediately issued an order and was about to leave. Sauron quickly stated that the three rings had successfully lit up the sacred tree, but then he changed his tone. These words of provocation indeed made Celebrimbor somewhat annoyed. Sauron seized the opportunity and suggested forging rings for humans to help them escape the invasion of dark magic, as they were his own race. However, the proud elves believed that humans were inherently greedy and easily corrupted by the rings, and the dwarves would certainly no longer provide the necessary materials. Sauron then suddenly confessed that he had hidden his identity and was actually a messenger sent by the Supreme Vala to help Middle-earth through this crisis. Naturally, Celebrimbor was unwilling to believe him, but suddenly a gust of evil wind blew open the window. Celebrimbor hurried to close it, but when he turned around, Sauron was nowhere to be seen. Suddenly, the lights in the room went out and a green flame surged up. Celebrimbor stepped forward.
سوف أطلق العنان لأقوى قدراتك وحينما ينتهي عملنا بل سيلاقمونك للأبد بسيد الخواتم.
Sauron quietly transformed into an elf, appearing so holy that Celebrimbor couldn't help but kneel. At this moment, he completely believed that the man before him was a messenger sent by the Vala. Next, they needed to obtain mithril from the dwarves to forge the remaining rings. Meanwhile, the dwarven capital of Khazad-dûm underwent significant changes. Due to helping Elrond mine mithril, Durin had a complete fallout with his father, and the two began living as ordinary people. However, on this day, his wife Dissa suddenly felt a tremor, followed by an earthquake. Worse, the collapse blocked all the city's entrances and exits, and even the plants withered quickly due to lack of sunlight. The dwarves dug new tunnels day and night, but rumors soon spread, blaming Durin for bringing the ill-fated elf back to the fortress. Now a commoner, Durin not only faced heavy work he had never done before, but also endured various taunts from his co-workers. Just as he hesitated about seeking his father's forgiveness, Dissa brought more bad news. The dwarves had lived safely in the caves because of a profession called Song of the Stone, of which Dissa was one. They could communicate with the rocks through song to find veins and exits. But as Dissa sang, the rocks did not reveal the exit, and even the last ray of sunlight disappeared. It was clear they had been abandoned by their home. Meanwhile, the wizard who arrived with the meteor, along with Nori and Poppy, was heading towards the constellation. Perhaps his lost memory was there, but the three did not know that their every move was being watched by a mysterious figure. Soon, the mysterious figure rode to a desert temple, opened a jar, and countless moths flew out. As his hand was cut and blood flowed onto the ground, the old man waved his wand, and the moths devoured the blood on the ground. The next second, it turned out they were Sauron's followers. They initially thought the mysterious wizard was Sauron's reincarnation, but they didn't expect to be expelled by his magic. Once he regained his memory, he would inevitably pose a threat to Sauron. The scene shifts to the mysterious wizard and the two companions traveling under the scorching sun. If they don't hurry, they might die of thirst before being caught. Suddenly, the mysterious wizard smells something unusual. The next second, the two Harfoots use their hidden talents. Three masked men search the area but find no trace of them and leave. Knowing they were being followed, the three decide to take a risky path. The journey is extremely hot, and even the mysterious wizard faints from the heat. Fortunately, Poppy spots a well in the distance. The two struggle to drag the mysterious wizard to the well. Poppy throws aside the stick blocking the drum and draws a bucket of water. But just then, The piercing bell sound would soon attract the pursuers. Fortunately, the wizard woke up in time. He looked at the staff on the ground and suddenly felt a sense of familiarity. Just then, the pursuers arrived. Facing the enemy's charge, the wizard showed no fear. He chanted a spell and then thrust his staff into the ground. But as the sandstorm grew stronger, he couldn't end the spell, and even the staff in his hand began to dissipate.